Today we're going to look at two modules within Dynamics GP, Refund Checks and Debtor-Creditor transactions. The scenario I've got is that we need to pay two students who have recently been awarded prizes. These students are set up in my debtors ledger within Dynamics GP, as I normally collect payments from them for their fees and for their expenses. But as they've been awarded prizes, I need to issue checks for them. So first of all, we're going to have a look at the Refund Checks functionality. So I'm in Dynamics GP, and I've got two students set up. I've created credit notes for them on the system. I've imported those credit notes in. So if we go and have a look at transactions by debtor, we can see Mike Amesbury has a prize 180001 for £500, and Tonya Antonisi has one for £750. In my receivables transactions, I have an option called Refund Checks. By selecting Refund Checks, first thing I need to do is select the check batch, which is a payables management check batch. So I'll call these prizes, and I have a batch there ready to allow entry of the payments. If I drill down into that batch, you'll see that I've set it up for EFT, so I'll pay them via electronic funds transfer, and it's coming out of my HSBC current account. Put a document date in here. I'll integrate with EFT. So I can create a refund for specific documents, or I can ask the system to look for credit balance documents. If I select that option, I have a choice of selecting my debtors. So I'm going to say I'd like to just look at my student class, and I only want to look at students where I owe them more than £400. Pressing the insert button, looks in Dynamics GP and comes back with Mr. Amesbury and Ms. Antonisi. So they're set up as debtors. At the moment, they do not have creditor IDs on the system. To do that, I select the first one here, it takes me to creditor ID, and I can go and say create vendor. So it opens up the creditor maintenance window with all the information brought across as a temporary supplier. Now inside here, because I've specified EFT, I need to put on the bank details. So it's a United Kingdom, the account number, and a sort code. And I can save that. And I need to do the same here. Create vendor, address, and put in the bank details. Once that's done, I'm able to process my batch. I could run the edit list if I needed to. I'm just going to go straight for process. What the system will do is it'll create a debit note on the sales side, automatically applied to those credit notes, and on the purchase side it'll create me my payment automatically applied to an invoice type document. You press the process button. Are you sure you want to transfer the receivables credit balances to payables? Yes. Transfer. And we'll see the postings come up shortly. So here we go. It's created me a debit note for £500 and a debit note for £750. Those are general ledger postings. And on the payable side, it's created me a voucher, a miscellaneous voucher for £500 and a miscellaneous voucher down here for £750. And it's taken me directly to the print payments option with my batch ID of prizes. It's given me a number EFT11, asked me for a processing date, which is today. I'm going to do a separate remittance. And I can process those payments. Open up the remittance advices and I can see Mike has a remittance here. We paid him £500 and Tonya £750. Those are my remittances. It's created me a file ready to go via the EFT to the bank. So I can post those through. And it's made the payments here for me. So now looking back at the inquiries, you can see that there's a £500 credit note matched off to the debit note there. And if we go and have a look in the purchasing side at the supplier over here, there's my miscellaneous refund and my payment made through the system. So a nice easy way of achieving what we were looking for in paying those students. Debtor creditor transactions works in pretty much the same way. However, this module is a bit more functionality. We could take customers, so we could select customers and transfer to payables in exactly the same way I've just shown you with refund checks. We could also work the other way, whereby I can select a creditor ID and it'll transfer that creditor's balance across to receivables. I can also do a consolidate documents here. So if I do a consolidate and I put in my associated insurance company debtor and creditor, what the system's now showing me is all the purchase ledger transactions related to that insurance company and the sales transactions. I can now choose to net them off against each other. If I left this at this point, it would net the difference at £39.49 and post the relevant transactions to each side, leaving a £39 balance. So based on the scenario we had, refund checks is probably the easiest process. However, if you need you have more transactions, more documents related to your debtors and creditors, debtor-creditor consolidations will be the module for you to use.